everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to talk a little bit about prepping and how you can prep for $1 a bag. Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to talk a little bit about prepping and prepping in the year 2021. I don't really have to explain a lot why we should be prepping after all the things that happened last year. And at the taping of this, it looks like we could be in for a rough end of the year again. Prepping is something that's extremely important. Whether it's so you don't have to leave your home, whether you're prepping for any kind of natural disasters, prepping is important. But I know a lot of people, like me, are on a fixed or low income, and they really don't know how they can prep when prepping is so expensive. I mean, it's a little bit like the weight loss treatments that you see online. Buy this pill, which is very expensive, and it will help you. Prepping is that way. Prepping, you have all these food buckets, which cost lots of money, and this year things are really expensive. Then you have things like Thrive Life and things like that that are not very cheap, and to prep enough to supply you all winter long, it's really expensive. But I'm going to share with you my tip and my trick to prepping, and it only costs $1 per item, and that is using the Dollar Tree. As far as I know, the Dollar Tree is still the cheapest place you can buy dried beans, especially kidney beans. For $1, you can get kidney beans. And actually, in our little town, they even stocked up. We have navy beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, black beans, almost any kind of bean you want for $1 a bag. Now, you could throw this into your prep bucket and say goodbye and be easy. But you know what? With prepping, it takes a lot of water. And water is something that is heavy. Why would you want to store extra water when you don't have to, when you can prep your beans that are edible in the jar? So, prepping beans. Not everybody has a pressure canner, but I would strongly have suggested way back 5 years ago that you buy a pressure canner back when they were only $60. A lot of people have watched my videos through the years and they took heed to my warnings. Now, I'm not a doomsday prepper, but I do believe in not having your head buried in the sand. And a lot of people bought the things I told them to about 5 years ago, and now they're able to prep for pennies on the dollar. Maybe you have a friend that has a pressure canner that you could share it with them. I know a lot of people started doing that. So instead of buying one thing themselves, they go into a group. So 4 people will put the money for a pressure canner and then they will share it. That's a really good way that you can save money and you can still prep as well. Prepping is something that you work on a scale. So you can start really low and work your way up. Prepping is something different for everyone. If you don't eat kidney beans, if you don't like beans and rice and chili and things like that, you never would want to prep for it because you're not going to eat it. But most people like beans. And the best way to do it is to can them so they are ready to eat. All you have to do is open them up and heat them. I'm going to be talking a lot about prepping because prepping is something that my channel focuses a lot on because I am a prepper. And I'm going to be talking about prepping when you have low income, not the kind of prepping where you have hundreds of dollars that you just are ready to spend, because the majority of people don't have that. As far as jars are harder to find now. But if you go to yard sales, if you go to Craigslist, or you go to FreeCycle, you still can find some jars and you can find them cheap. I also shared with you last week that the Dollar General has jars and they're only $8.50 a case. And that is pretty reasonable in our area. All right, let me show you the 1, 2, 3 easy way that you can beans. It only takes a couple minutes. So for $4, we are able to make, I'm not sure how many meals. I'll let you know in the end of this video. First we're going to do is open up the bags of beans. And we're going to wash them. Dollar Tree has really nice beans. What makes a bean nice and fresh is they're not broke up. Very few of them are broken up, and that's what you want. You don't want beans that are all broken in pieces. They will get gummy when you can them. Now for the fun part, you take 1/2 cup and you put 1/2 cup of beans into each jar. The beans are raw. This is a no-soak method. As of now, it's still not USDA regulated. They regulate it to soak the beans, but I don't know anybody who soaks their beans anymore. Now, because these are beans, these are pints, they are going to be pressure canned for 75 minutes, the same as you would with meat. And yes, you have to pressure can these beans. And now I use 1/2 teaspoon of salt per jar. Now, some people use just canning salt. I use Himalayan salt. I've never had any issues with it. So we're just going to use 1/2 teaspoon per jar. Not even that. It might even be like 1/4 teaspoon or 1/3 teaspoon. You don't have to add any salt to your jars. So using the Dollar Tree can save you so much money. It's a tremendous amount of savings. And there's so many things you can do for prepping using the Dollar Tree. I'm going to show you other things that you can use the Dollar Tree for with prepping in videos I have up here. We did the $5 challenge where we took a bucket and we filled it for $5. That was amazing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish filling these jars, and then I'll show you what we do next. All right, so we have the beans all in the canner. Now, I double stacked it, so you can double stack if you have a large canner. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to let it vent for 30 minutes, and then we're going to have it at 75 minutes pressure at 11 pounds. So it's 75 minutes for 11 pounds pressure. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done, and then we'll talk a little more about prepping. Because I make videos for a living, I have the opportunity to do product reviews. Lately, I've been showing these reviews at the end of my videos, and I wanted to share with you a product review I have coming up here. I've been able to bless a lot of people through my product reviews. As you know, most of them I don't keep. A lot of them I give away to families that are in need, or families that have a need for the items that I can get free. This product review is one that I am going to keep because it has to do with prepping, and it has been a real blessing to me to have it. And this is a power pack that's off-grid. I know my product reviews aren't for everyone, but I thank you so much for those who watch these parts of my videos, and you have an understanding that by doing this, I'm able to bless so many others. Hi everybody, I'm going to do a product review here on the Blue Eddy, and this is a battery pack. One thing nice about this one is it has different features than the other ones that I have done in the past. So we have a light, and it has different settings on the light. It's very lightweight. It's a 716 WH portable power station. with a handle, and it's easy to carry. It also has a feature of a wireless charging for your phone. So you could lay your phone up here. Output is 15 watts. Each feature has its own button that you press in. And so when you want to plug in, you're going to have to press the on first. And here it will show you what you are plugging in. I'm going to show you the different accessories. So here we have the cable that comes if you want to have it with solar, which is amazing. So you can put a solar panel to it. Here is if you want to charge it inside with regular electric. And then here is if you want to charge it to your car battery. Let's go ahead and plug in the light and I'll show you how it looks. All right, so we plugged in the light and you can see that it works perfectly. So we have four electric plugs. This here is for a 12-volt DC output. Here is an output for a cigarette lighter. And here is USB outlets that you can charge anything that requires a USB. So you can keep your item plugged in and you can just turn it off with the button. So if you want to keep your item plugged in, all you do is you turn the button on and off and the light will go on and off. Really nice feature, I like that.